Hello and welcome to an all-new adult erotica in comics. You're watching Vaughn 82. I am your underground comic-loving friend, Scotty. You can call me Scott, call me whatever you would like. Just please hit that like button on your way in, and I would be forever grateful. Now, on today's video, we're going to be talking about Vaughn Bodé. He lived a very short life. It was sort of a tragic life, a little bit of a sad story. But man, what he was able to do in his 33 years on this earth. We're going to talk all about it. Stick around. All right, welcome back. Do I have a good video for you today? Vaughn Bodé made such a huge impact in not only adult erotica, but graffiti and underground comics as well. Huge impact in underground comics. We'll talk all about it. Let's get into this. Now, Vaughn Bodé was born on July 22nd, 1941 in Utica, New York, to two loving but dysfunctional parents. He was one of four siblings. He had one older brother, and he had a younger brother and younger sister, Vincent and Valerie. Now, Vaughn's father was an alcoholic, and his parents, they struggled. They didn't get along. They would fight a lot, and Vaughn would use art as his escape from his reality. He was basically using this to escape a bad childhood. And around the age of 10 years old, his parents finally got a divorce, and he actually moved in with his uncle in Washington, D.C. And that's where he would continue to grow up. He tended to keep to himself and was a sensitive kid. He would just draw. He would create comics with detailed stories, characters with detailed backstories, such as Cheech Wizard. But he never tried to publish any or even sell them. When he was 19, he would join the army, a decision he would later regret, going AWOL, but later receiving an honorable discharge due to a psychiatric diagnosis. The next year in 1961, Vaughn would marry his then girlfriend, and 2 years later, his son Mark was born. This same year, Vaughn decided to self-publish his very first comic, Das Kampf. And according to some, this is the very first underground comic book to ever be published. He then followed that with a comic book for a commercial job titled Power Mower Man in 1966. And throughout the 60s, Vaughn continued to work and make a name for himself as an illustrator in many science fiction pulp digests. He would continue through these years, turning out mass market paperback covers and occasional cover paintings for Warren's Creepy and Eerie. He would start creating more personal work, which would appear in Wally Wood's Wit's End and his own underground comics, such as Junk Waffle. In 1971, he started underground comics tabloid Gothic Blimp Works. At that time, he was still a little on the shy side, though this was going to change in the next couple of years. Over the next couple of years, Bodé would really grow to embrace underground comics and the counterculture movement. And he would use his characters, his broads, his frogs and lizards, and other characters to bring his many obsessions along with him. Tales of nihilism, frustrated sex, violence, and often death. Definitely not what one might expect from a sensitive hippie cartoonist. The Bodé broad was omnipresent in his work. She was short, stout, and stacked, cartoonish but somehow realistically sexy. Now the lizards were his everyman characters, sometimes appearing even with male genitalia. One of his possibly best-known characters, Cheech Wizard, a character he had created many years earlier, who was basically a big wizard's hat with legs and a nub in the front that could be a nose, but more than likely is something else. He spoke a language known as Bodé speak and a type of creative cursing. Cheech Wizard would grow in popularity and got regular appearances in National Lampoon. Meanwhile, Purple Pictography and Deadbone erotica strips appeared regularly in Swank and Cavalier men's magazines. This was often in collaboration with Bernie Wrightson and Jeff Jones. Vaughn was a truly wild spirit as he grew with age, experimenting with drugs. He would cross-dress and also experiment with transvestism. He also dabbled in meditation as well as religion. He had grown his hair out and began to reinvent himself a little bit. However, mental illness seemed to plague Vaughn Bodé, and he seemed to really struggle with his inner demons. I know he claimed to struggle with a lot of self-hatred and narcissism, and he had some things that he was struggling to work through. In 1973, he would release a comic called Schizophrenia, which showed Cheech's self-serving antics at the top of its pages, and Bodé himself reflecting on life and his own sexuality along the bottom. Around the 1970s, his style was a favorite among graffiti artists. His art changed graffiti art forever, and Bodé is seen as an unofficial godfather in graffiti. Bodé inspired graffiti, and it can be seen everywhere to this day. He basically made the bubble letters you see so often popular. Vaughn Bodé was a troubled man, as so many unbelievably talented artists are. He passed away in July of 1975 at the age of 33. I don't think I can say on YouTube how he passed away, but I do want to put out there while we're talking about it, if any of you guys are struggling, please reach out to a friend. Don't be afraid to reach out to a family member or a friend, a loved one. Reach out to me. I will never be too big a YouTuber to take your messages. You can find me on Instagram. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. You are not alone. Everybody struggles. I just wanted to put that out there. Mental illness is real, and I don't want any of you to ever feel like you're alone. Just please reach out to someone. Even if it's just little old me, please just reach out. And there are definitely hotlines out there for that as well, which I'll put up here on the screen while we're on the topic. But moving on. His death was reportedly caused by auto asphyxiation, so you can look that up, see for yourself. His son Mark is now a grown artist and is carrying his father's flame, as well as not only following in his footsteps, but he has taken it to a whole different level. He's adopted his father's style, improved upon it, if that's even possible, and he has ventured out into different areas of art that didn't even exist when Vaughn Bodé was alive, such as graffiti, tattoos, and things of that nature. Things that are just relevant forms of artwork that weren't back then. Like a comet, he went away and left behind a beautiful tale of memories. He burned bright, and in a flash he was gone. And I think that perfectly sums up Vaughn Bodé. I hope you guys liked the video this week. I know I enjoyed putting it together. I enjoyed learning about Vaughn Bodé. Such a tragic life, but such a huge impact in underground comics, graffiti, just so many different things, erotica. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. New adult erotica in comics videos drop every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I hope that you will subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed so that you'll catch that when it rolls around next Wednesday. And I hope you all have a fantastic week. See you next time. Peace.